via, or going from air to ground or air to air, rather than Kazuya's ground to air. It's like different ways of interacting that are going to come down to, I think, in the root of it, timing mix-ups. And it's we'll get to see hopefully plenty of them, or just plenty of defense coming out from Lust, if not just running in straight for the grab. Okay, sure.
We're starting this game out on Smashville. It's a very interesting pick for both of these characters. Obviously, do considerably well on the stage, but taking Kazuya game 1 to Smashville, no matter how good your character is on the stage, is a very ballsy pick.
For sure. You're taking advantage purely and simple of, I know I can get to the other side of the stage slightly before you. Granted, that becomes very difficult when the stage is so small.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, Smashville is a very hard stage to play around at times. Of course, Wheezer finding those big punishes so far. Lust, of course, finding the pick up there on the back air. Looking to find this edge guard here. The Witch Time going to come out early. No, small. The weak kid, unfortunately, not going to take that stock just yet. But he's still not going to make that roll.
Yeah, jump has been used. The back air sends just far enough in order to ensure that stock is taken. Oh, a high hit of that forward air into that grab. I like how Lust has been showing not a ton of fear when it comes to grabbing Wheezer. Like, just running up and doing it. Sometimes you're expecting Wheezer to, like, you're expecting many Kazuyas to rely on things like shield grab or just raw electrics to start their combos. Lust having a lot of bravery right off the bat of willing to play the counterplay, because the reward off of that you can get off of it, it's almost just as strong as long as you play it right, the nair not spiking. Lust looking pretty good here and looking for a big read.
Yeesh. Okay, we talked a lot about the FGC fear factor earlier, but what happens when your opponent's just like, okay, what if I just don't care? What if I just come in and just challenge you? And that's what Lust is doing a lot of so far. Find that afterburner kick. Oh my god.
Not the exact hit of the witch twist that it seemed like they wanted, so now we're in back air and up tilt percents. One that kills you and one that leads into back air. Henceforth there Momo, because that is the stock taken, and that is Lust now able... I was going to say now able to play the runaway game and force Wheezer into, like, committing to jumps to try and find up airs, which you can punish because you're Bayonetta. Heel slide right into them is generally not the vibe.
Yeah, you got to be careful throwing out those those options on Kazuya when he has those out of shield up smash. Of course, yeah, like I'm saying, I'm liking the way that Lust is playing around the shield here. Of course, Wheezer going to opt there with the super armor on that down special, trying to catch that aggressive play, getting a little too aggressive there with the side special. Oh my god, what a follow-up there from Lust.
Now we chase. Just for a back air, though. Lust holding steady when it comes to stage control, and I like that a lot. Like, you keep things consistent. You make sure that Kazuya feels this offstage disadvantage for as long as possible, force them into awkward routes, and give them that heal, because that is Lust taking game number 1 over Wheezer in a very well-played showing.
Yeah, Lust playing this set fantastically right now, and playing that idea of just like spacing that afterburner kick just perfectly around the shield, where Wheezer can't find that punish unless you get the hard read on the electrical and Gothas. And even then, you can still opt for a trade there, right? As Bayonetta, like Lust is doing a fantastic job of playing around that shield and forcing Wheezer, of like calling his bluff, right? Of saying like, oh, well, you're not gonna be aggressive against this. You're not gonna go and punish this. Yeah, right. You know, like you want to jump here. You want to. I'm gonna throw this out on your shield. I can find even more of these follow-ups, considering that Bayonetta has such of these crazy follows, like on forward air, on the afterburner kick, and of course Wheezer just kind of getting called out on off stage, like we saw there again and again from the back air.
Yeah, that's. You know, it's that Lima school of thought that you were talking about a little earlier where, hey, I'm going to utilize these witch times on consistent hitboxes that I know are coming. And what's more consistent than an upbeat ledge? Like, super nice stuff there for us to have this bread and butter edge guard against Wheezer. I'd almost want Wheezer to be a little bit more, like, have a little bit more of a bravery when it comes to playing around Bayonetta when she's in the air, playing around some of these witch twists. A parry into trying to find up air is super nice, or trying to find a forward air. Maybe some up Bs out of shield. It is frame 12. And pretty disjointed. It's not bad at all. But you need to find ways to make Lust uncomfortable moving around you as comfortable as he is right now.
Oh yeah, definitely, and of course that comes back to the stage shift here of PS2. I definitely like this idea here from Wheezer of having a lot more of those safer recovery routes against Bayonetta, as we saw, and of course those platforms to retreat to. Of course, Lust using that perfectly as well. Both these players using the stage fantastically so far. Ooh, yeah, I like the idea of using the armor to get through that down tilt.
Yeah. Typically, low pokes are really good against Kazuya, but that's where you get past the intangibility, but you still got to deal with the armor, and that's where Heaven Sword's going to come in clutch. Gonna miss the second Witch Twist, but still pour on the damage. Very close to getting the Rage Drive offline here from Wheezer. Assuming that you can find any sort of hit, the dash attack, even with the power boost from having the Rage Drive, isn't going to be enough here, Momo. And Lust is choosing to still interact with Wheezer throughout all of that. Oh, ABK in, spelling their demise.
Yeah, I like this aggression, but sometimes you're getting a little too cocky. You're feeling a little too comfortable. Like, yo, at the end of the day, this is Kazuya with Rage Drive. You got to calm down.
Yeah. At this, I'm surprised we weren't seeing stuff like the bullet arts or the bullet climax just to try and get Wheezer off of the spot, because right now they just look extremely comfortable knowing that Lust is trying to mix them up by being surprisingly aggressive, but the mystery and surprise factor is definitely gone at this point.
Yeah, we're in game number 2. We've done that one too many times. Obviously, Wheezer is a comfortable at this point. 185, yeah, we're getting up to those Bayonetta percentages right now. Almost gracing 200 here. They're trying to make it back, but big witch time. Of course, into that back air. Very good punish on the recoveries from Lust.
Clean stuff all around here. Lust didn't take all that much damage as well here, Momo. Just as we see them slow the game down a little bit. Kazuya Fair does so much damage. That did 17.
Golly, dude. Such an angry man.
He is very, very pissed off, and you're going to have to play all of the Tekken games in order to figure out why.
You got to play all 7, bro.
All 7 of them. Tekken 8 soon.
You got to play Street Fighter X Tekken 2.
Oh,
don't
true.
ask me why.
We can figure that one out later.
We'll get into that. But, of course, Lust. Oh, my gosh, dude. The damage from this Bayonetta has been fantastic so far.
I like that mix-up on the recovery there, going from high to low. Grab the ledge before the back air comes down. A little bit overzealous with the Rage Drive from ledge, but Wheezer doing an amazing job of mixing up his recoveries now. We just got to find a way to get back to neutral, doing so with roll on, roll in, upbeat.
Yeah.
Rage Drive, boom, you're at 50. Reward maximum.
God bless. But still, Lust not closing out with that back air. Catching that with the Witch Twist, catching the air dodge. From the ledge guard, nice air dodge again from Wheezer. Again, getting a little too overzealous here. Trying to find these stocks. Wheezer with the backer coming out. Trying to find this recovery from Lust. Getting back into center stage. Setting up so comfortably here with this Kazuya. Using those lasers and waiting for this Bayonetta to get aggressive again.
Yeah, the standing grab comes in, but this is how you draw it up if you're Kazuya. The last match is how you draw it up if you're Bayonetta. This is the flip side to that completely. Just, I'm surviving forever. Bayo's not killing me until 180. I do so much damage off of any interaction that trades will always be in my favor. And then you let it rip when your opponent wants to try and poke you out. That down tilt may start a crazy combo with down tilt into ABK, but you're not hitting anything.
Yeah, I was going to say I've been noticing that a couple times that last game where Lust is getting way too comfortable challenging Kazuya on the ground. I like the idea on paper of throwing out the low poke here for Kazuya, right? Throwing out that down tilt as a mix-up, right? But literally we're seeing time and time again, Lust is running up, throwing out a normal against Kazuya, and Kazuya is Kazuya. We saw the same thing in the last set with Krogbo and Smurf Roaster, where he's running in. Something like, okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Thanks, Kelvin. Where he's running in and throwing out an option against a character like Ken, another FGC character, that absolutely excels at the close range. You need to, obviously, I like the aggression, I like how confident you're feeling, but you need to be scared sometimes. You need to feel a little scared.
I think it's valuable to not be scared, but to know when to disengage.
Mm-hmm. That's a better way to frame it.
It is.
Thank you for the better wording.
No problem. That's what I'm here for, bro. The idea of it's a lot of good ideas when it comes to Bayonetta. You're playing with your mobility so that Kazuya can't reliably catch you. He's forced to swing into the air with stuff like rising up air or up B out of shield. you mix up when you're aggressive and when you're defensive with ABK to cover that space or just go in for raw grabs. The problem is it feels like Lust, like when they settle into a single option, Wheezer knows when that option is coming as they look for the first set. Like it's never one down tilt. It's always two down tilts, for instance.
Yeah, we're actually catching up with the combo routes that we're seeing from Lust time and time again. Of course, Wheezer knows what's going to come out there. The fourth throw coming out, of course, the beer first there on the laser. Just feeling so comfortable here in the corner. Someone's got to charge their controller.
Hopefully it's not one of our players. Hopefully it's just Kelvin.
Player 3 looking crazy in the corner right now.
He's going crazy. He's in the stands. All right. Let's try that again. Not getting the back air there, instead pivoting to that forward air, but the Demon Scissors down low. I've been liking those mix-ups there from Wheezer, and Wheezer just in general seems to have adapted around so many of Lust's tricks and traps a whole lot better than Lust has done to Wheezer. Like these ABKs on shield cross-up have been getting punished, but not that one. That one connected high and comboed straight into the back air for Lust to retake the lead.
Very good stuff from Lust there for closing out that stock. And now playing a much more conservative game, learning from the last game, right? Knowing when to disengage. This is the thing that we need to take from, learning from your last set. Maybe the coach bringing that up too. Saying like, yo, sometimes you need to calm down.
Yeah. Shout out to Z-. Pretty good coach.
Let's go Z-.
Let's go Z-.
Ooh, again, these new Bayonetta combos with that down special is going to close it out.
Yeah, just the quick heaven store. It's got the armor. Going for it again out of combo, but Lust with the realization that that was the option and pivoted it into a full combo. Not able to close out the stock, but still plenty of damage, though you do have to watch out for the rage drive. Lust, again, being a little bit more on the play when it comes to so many of these buttons, and then mixing in yet another ABK to back air. Clean stuff. A clean full sequence there from Lust. A couple combos, you finished off the stock, you didn't get hit by a rage drive, and you are in firm control of this game number 3.
Something we don't touch on much when we talk about Bayonetta in general is just what she's able to do off your shield, right? They're using the afterburner kick, bouncing off your shield, the intense mix-ups. Playing the keep-away game is so pivotal for this character. Like we're seeing from Lust here. The second you find set hit on shield, the second Wheezer guesses wrong, you find over 80%. Still finding more of the witch twist, and rage drive is online, but oh my gosh. This is a tough hill to climb.
Ouch.
Oh, never mind, maybe not that tough.
I mean, this is just one of the. It's like technically one hit, depending if Wheezer knows the combo route. But Rage, funnily enough, can change Kazuya's combos a lot to where they're a whole lot harder to hit the spiking hit of Nair, which is that loop position that Kazuya wants to do to get all of his zero to deaths, which is why we see Wheezer just go straight down throw into Flash Tornado, and you have to just play with some of Kazuya's quote-unquote B&Bs that still give you 82% off of a couple grabs.
But now Wheezer bringing this all the way back to an almost even game here. Now setting up here, throwing out those electrics, saying that, hey, sitting in shield is not cutting it for me anymore. Trying to punish there on the ABKs from Lust. But Lust, again, trying to mix up that timing, taking that step back. Just waiting for that one mistake from Wheezer, but of course, you're off stage against this Kazuya once again. You got to be careful at 100%. This is absolutely kill percentage for this character right now.
Wrong positioning in order to get the up B out of shield.
Wait a minute.
Fair 1, 2, 3, but he misses. He misses it too high, and now it was too low in order to close out the stock. What a witch time. You see and do that one too many times. Wheezer dropping with the Demon Scissors. Too close.
The pop-off from Z-.
The coach is popping off. Let's go.
Yes.
I mean, that was clean. You got the witch time into up tilt. Wait for the fly. Finish off with the back air. 2-1 Lust taking themselves further into this bracket and eliminating one of the two Kazuyas remaining. Ziglet and Xavier are going to be playing on, are still playing in losers. They're playing on station number 1. And I think we're going to be seeing yet more of this Lust as he goes up against Bayonetta against the Diddy Kong.
Bayonetta against Diddy Kong. Yeah, it's definitely a very tough one. But man, the way that Lust played this set, right? The adaptation that we saw. So you mentioned it perfectly after game 2, right? Where you need to know when to disengage. You need to know when to take a breather and relax. Like Bayonetta obviously finds so much damage off those combos. But sometimes you get a little too predictable if a character like Kazuya who's going to come in and just delete your stock. So, of course, Lust taking that advice to heart last game, bringing that back and saying sometimes just when I chill out,
So nice.
when I have that Wish Miss on deck, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And you're able to close out that game perfectly. That playing defensively, just net you those wins perfectly. Of course, was able to take that win over Wheezer.
Yeah, the reward on hit is already insane, so you don't need to force the hits, and then you're able to play around, force that neutral, force Kazuya into very linear scenarios. There were multiple times that set we saw Wheezer just kind of sitting there, trying to space around an up B out of shield, maybe trying to time a electric on an ABK, and sure, if that electric connected in that final game, like electric into up smash, electric into up B, set's done. But you know how hard it is to hit Afterburner Kick? Like, that was very much Wheezer.
Easier said than done.
Way easier said than done, and it very much seemed like Wheezer was just like trying to guess a timing, and Lust, as weird and alien as it may sound, with punishing Electric Wind Godfist. Go behavior.
Changing the way that we see the game forever. Maybe Kazuya isn't that bad, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he's broken as hell. But like,
nah, maybe not. Maybe I don't know.
he's broken, but like he's playable. You can play around every character, not every character, but a lot of characters can do what Lust just did. Like, play around low pokes, disengage when need to. Maybe you do that with a charge shot if you're like Samus, or maybe you do that with an item if you're Rob or Diddy Kong, or maybe you do that with a burst range or just raw speed if you're Palutena. But every character can do what Lust just did, and they executed it to perfection.